Hello, back again. Time for another YouTube video. Today, I'm going to review wrestling. Alright, so let's start with Raw. WWE Raw. Monday Night Raw from Monday. Starts with the video package. Not a video package. Starts with everybody from WWE basically saying how they did a moment of silence for the shooting that happened in Las Vegas. And then we kick off the show. Braun Strowman versus Seth Rollins. Braun Strowman wins. And then we get post-match. Dean Ambrose comes out to try and save Seth. Braun destroys him. Then the Bar comes out, Sheamus and Cesaro. And they destroy Dean and Seth. Then we get a video package from last week basically saying Alexa Bliss calling Mickie James old. And yeah. Then Mickie James walking to the locker room. And basically she sees presents that are basically making fun of the fact that they're saying she's old. And we get backstage promo with Bray Wyatt talking about Sister Abigail, classic Bray. And then we get Elias is in the ring playing his guitar, and Titus comes out to stop him. And we get Elias versus Titus O'Neil. Elias wins. We get Mickie James versus Nia Jax. Mickie James wins via DQ because Alexa Bliss interferes. And then Mickie James gets granted a title match by Kurt Angle. Oh no, I'm editing this up. Here we get Matt Hardy and Jason Jordan versus the Club, Gallows and Anderson. The Club win, which is interesting because the Club doesn't win a lot. We get basically a video package saying Enzo's gonna address the Cruiserweight division. Enzo is Cruiserweight champion. Then we get Dana Warrior basically talking about the cancer survivors, even though Ultimate Warrior doesn't like cancer survivors. Ultimate Warrior is deceased, and it's come out in interviews and stuff that he said some discouraging thing about cancer survivors and all this other stuff. Then we get Miz and Miz Taraj coming out, Roman coming out. The match is about to start, and then Roman jumps out the ring, destroys the Miz Taraj, which is Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, and then Miz and Roman have their match, and Roman wins by DQ because Sheamus and Cesaro interfere. So it's basically to set up the Shield coming back, which is Roman, Seth, and Dean. And then we get a Finn Balor interview. Or not an interview, he just comes out to the ring and cuts a promo. But he's basically talking about how he's gonna beat Bray. And Bray comes up on the screen and says how Sister Abigail is alive. So Sister Abigail's been speculated to be a thing for the last 3 years or so. And then we get Sasha and Bayley versus Emma and Alicia Fox. And Sasha and Bayley win. So, cool. Because Sasha and Bayley are cool. So, there you go. Enzo comes out, basically runs down the whole Cruiserweight division, insults them all. Kurt Angle comes out, says there's a new guy in the Cruiserweight division, and it's Kalisto. And the crowd didn't react. much. And then we get a backstage segment with the Shield reuniting. Roman sitting there, Dean comes up on the left, Seth comes up on the right, and that's the end of Raw. So now on to SmackDown. And I'll get into NXT and Lucha Underground as well. Alright, SmackDown. Starts off with a video package. Basically, Jinder running down Shinsuke. Renee's in the ring. Renee Young's in the ring, ready for an in-ring interview with Shinsuke. Shinsuke basically said, Renee asked the question, how do you feel about Jinder making fun of you? These past couple of weeks, Nakamura says, sticks and stones may break my bones, might break my bones, but words will never hurt me, which is terrible. It's bad. Jinder comes out. Bollywood Boys and Jinder beat down Nakamura. And then after that, we get backstage segment with Natalya and Carmella. Basically, Natalya's walking backstage, and Carmella has James Ellsworth on a leash, and Carmella goes down, boy, and then Natalya says, oh, so he's a male dog, so you know what that makes you, a female dog, and you know what that means. Yeah, that was stupid. Then we get Charlotte and Becky versus Natalya and Carmella. Natalya and Carmella win. Basically, because Natalya taps out Charlotte, and Becky gets taken out because Miss Money in the Bank Carmella hits her with a briefcase. We get a video package for Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. Then we get Bobby Roode versus Mike Kanellis, Maria Kanellis' husband. Bobby Roode wins. It's basically a squash match. It's like, I don't know, a minute. Then Ziggler comes out, basically saying how he's gonna beat Bobby Roode this Sunday at Hell in a Cell. Which Hell in a Cell is basically like 6 p.m. to 10 on Sunday. So, yeah. And then we get the Usos coming out, cutting a promo on the New Day. Basically saying how the Hell in a Cell is not the Usos Penitentiary, which I still don't know what the Usos Penitentiary is supposed to be, but the Hell in a Cell is not that. So then basically the Usos say that they're going to beat the New Day at Hell in a Cell. There you go. And the New Day basically say how they're going to win. Then we get Jinder backstage, talking about Nakamura, talking about how he beat Nakamura because he's more intelligent, and Mahal says Nakamura underestimated his intelligence. Then we get Ty Dillinger versus Baron Corbin. Ty Dillinger wins with a roll-up. And then we get AJ's backstage, basically talking. AJ basically says this is the house that AJ Styles built, which is basically his catchphrase now. And AJ says to Corbin, oh, if you wouldn't have lost to John Cena if you were smarter, because you're dumb, or whatever. And we get Dana Warrior in the ring again, talking about cancer survivors. Ultimate Warrior doesn't like cancer survivors, or draws, or Todd Grisham. A lot of people Ultimate Warrior doesn't like. Then we get Randy Orton versus Aiden English. Randy Orton wins. Shane and Sammy backstage. Sammy's like, you don't want to fight Kevin, because I know Kevin. I've been up and down the road for 15 years with Kevin. Kevin has snapped. So then Shane goes out to the ring, says, Kevin, you want to fight? Come in the ring and fight. Kevin, he doesn't come to the ring. So Shane goes up after him. They fight, they brawl backstage. Kevin puts Shane through a table. Kevin goes back down to the ring. Shane is not back down in the ring. He's in the crowd. Basically saying how he's going to beat Kevin. Kevin says how he's going to beat him. He's going to throw him off the cell, as opposed to Shane jumping off the cell like he did at WrestleMania. So yeah, that's SmackDown. So now on to 205 Live. And I'll get to Hell in a Cell predictions after I do everything else. After NXT and Lucha Underground. Alright, so Cruiserweights. Enzo comes out. Well, Kalisto comes out first because he's preparing for his match against Daivari. Enzo comes out basically saying how Kalisto is nothing. He's not going to win. He hasn't been nothing since he lost the U.S. title. And basically, Enzo makes fun of him for beating Braun Strowman because he ended up in a dumpster later that night. Then we get Kalisto versus Daivari. Kalisto wins. Oh yeah, and Kalisto basically says how he's going to win the Cruiserweight title, which I hope happens. Then we get Drew Gulak versus Mustafa Ali. Drew Gulak basically has this character of trying to make 205 Live a better place. No high flying, no chance, yada yada. Mustafa Ali wins with the inverted 450. And Tozawa's out there sitting on the ramp watching the match. And so basically we're going to get a feud between Tozawa and Drew Gulak, which I hope Tozawa wins, because if he doesn't, it'd be stupid. Then we get Dasha Fuentes talking to Brian Kendrick backstage. And basically, Brian Kendrick says he'll be out there to support Jack Gallagher. Cedric comes up and beats up Brian Kendrick. And then we get Cedric versus Jack Gallagher. Jack Gallagher wins by a DQ because Cedric hits Jack Gallagher with the umbrella. It was basically like pin-up aggression and all that. And Cedric basically just beats the hell out of both of them. Cedric beats up Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick. Alright, let me look up NXT results. Yeah, I'm on the Xbox again. Just sitting in orbit in Destiny 2. Drop my phone. Alright, NXT. First we got Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross versus Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. Ruby and Nikki win. And then we get Lio Rush coming out to debut against Aleister Black, but Velveteen Dream, aka Patrick Clark, comes out to attack Lio Rush. And basically that furthers the feud between Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream. Then we got Kairi Sane versus Aaliyah. Kairi Sane wins. Basically, this was a showcase match for Kairi Sane. Drew McIntyre versus Roderick Strong. Drew McIntyre wins and retains the championship. And then Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole, baby, come out and basically talk to him, saying how he should be champion. And basically, I don't know what this is going to lead to. Some people are saying it's going to lead to Roddy turning heel. I don't think it'll happen, but I don't know. Just don't. Need to look up Lucha Underground results. Alright, first match on Lucha Underground was the Battle Royal. Okay, well, before the Battle Royal, we got Eva Lisa and Jeremiah Crane talking backstage. Jeremiah Crane, aka Sami Callihan. Basically, they're talking. Jeremiah's Eva Lisa finds out that he's in love with Katrina, which is Maxine from NXT, the game show NXT specifically. Basically, he's like, oh, when I'm done beating up, or Evilise is like, when I'm done beating up Katrina, I'm gonna come after you. And then she turns around and basically kicks him through the bathroom stalls. And then we get the battle royal for the unique opportunity with Joey Ryan, PJ Black, aka Justin Gabriel, Ricky Mundo, Vini Massaro, Mascarita Sangrata, Argenis, Salador, Paul London, Mala Suerte, Cortez Castro, Son of Madness, The Mac, and Pimpinela Escarata. Alright, so the person that wins this match is The Mac. And then Dario comes out and basically says he'll be partners with Killshot and Dante Fox, which they just fought in a Hell of War match, which is basically 3 stages of hell but way more extreme. And they basically ended the match by putting each other through glass set up on tables. So it'll be interesting to see if they can even walk when this match happens. And then we get Katrina versus Evilise. Evilise wins. And then Jeremiah Crane comes out to basically break Evilise's ankle with a hammer. And then we get the Hair versus Mask, Phoenix versus Marty the Moth Martinez. Phoenix wins. And then they cut off Marty the Moth's hair. They don't cut it off completely. Just to say. Alright. Now on to Hell in a Cell predictions. First match is a kickoff match. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus the Hype Bros. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable I picked to win because the Hype Bros are going to turn heel. Well, Zack Ryder's going to turn heel in Mojo. Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Bobby Roode as a face. Terrible. Bobby Roode's probably going to win because he's the new guy. Randy Orton versus Rusev. Randy Orton will probably win because Rusev sucks. Natalya versus Charlotte. I could say Charlotte wins, but Carmella might come in and cash in the Money in the Bank. So AJ versus Baron Corbin. AJ's gonna win. New Day versus the Usos. New Day are probably gonna win, retain the titles, and go in to fight somebody else. New Day and the Usos matches have been great though. Then we get Shinsuke versus Jinder. I want Shinsuke to win. Kevin versus Shane. Kevin, people say Kevin's going to win. I could say Shane could win and then Kevin could go to Raw. Alright. So that's everything. So basically the title of this is going to be WWE, well, I should say Wrestling Talk.